My name is Charlene, and I am a grateful recovering alcoholic. I have a sober date of June the 22nd, 2022. Um, First, want to start by saying I appreciate all the support that I got from all of you guys. I couldn't do this without you guys. A couple of things I was told when I came in here was don't leave before the miracle happens. And I wanted to leave so many times. And I'm glad I didn't. So I'm going to share what I'm sort of sharing. So um, let me tell you how I got here. I got here by drinking, drinking and drinking. I drank day in, day not, day out. I drank sun up, sundown. I drank when things were good, things were bad. I just drank. That basically, I was just a drunk. Um, and I didn't really realize that I was drunk. I literally now know that it basically like was destroying me, and messed up me mentally, physically, spiritually. Like I literally stopped going to church. I stopped praying. I stopped reading my Bible. Like I used to have mental meltdowns, anxiety, psychotic breaks, things like that. Physically, it just I didn't eat because all I thought about was drinking. So I stopped eating. I lost weight. Um, it really tore me apart. And I didn't realize it because I was one of those functional drunks. So I thought that because I didn't crash a car or because I didn't hit anybody in a car, I didn't get arrested, things like that. I figured like um, I wasn't a drunk. Um, but I found out that I was. I literally drank for everything. If it was raining outside, I drank. If it was sunny outside, I drank. I used it for everything. I used it to cover up pain, abuse, neglect, abandonment issues, everything. Like that's what I used it for, and I didn't know that I was an alcoholic until I came in these rooms. And the way I came in here was because I did the same thing that I always did. I drank over my problems, and I was having a problem one day, and I didn't want to deal with it. And so my drink of choice was Blue Bull beer, only thing I drank. Um, and so I tried to make it a little better because I was like, okay, I only drink at home. So I started drinking only in the house, not going out. Then I slowed it down to let's just drink at nighttime. So I wait till the kids went to bed and I would go and drink. Then I would only drink in my room. So I just tried little strategies of like making it better, what I thought was better. But that totally did not work because one day I literally forgot about my little rules and had a bad day. And I decided to graduate from drinking beer to drinking liquor. And I went out and I drank liquor. And the next thing I know, I was waking up at my daughter's house who was telling me that I was found on the side of the road, um, that I was pushed out of a car, that I was found half dressed and foaming at my mouth, and nobody knew what happened. But when I found out what happened, and I talked to the friend who was with me when I went out to drink, who had no idea what happened because she was blacked out drunk also. Uh, I was scared. It scared me. It scared my kids. My kids threatened to walk out of my life forever if I did not get help. My daughter called my psychiatrist and asked her to help my mom because I think my mom's going to kill herself if she doesn't stop. Um, and my psychiatrist gave me no other choice but to come through these rooms because she threatened child protective service. And so I came through here and I got a sponsor. Oh, I needed to back up. I have a sponsor presently now, and she has a sponsor. and her sponsor has a sponsor. So the information she's getting to give to me is she's getting good. And so I've been to two sponsors, and I very much am grateful for my first sponsor, who definitely got me to like learn this program, because I had no schedule, no kind of plan or anything. When I came in here, my life was all over the place. And the first thing I was told to do was make my bed, and I did not know why. But looking back at it now, it was like dedicating myself to something, giving me something in my life that I could look forward to doing. Because there were those days that I came through here and I came home and I had a really bad day. And the only thing I knew was I want to go down the street and get me a beer. And the one day I walked in my room, it felt like crap, and felt like I didn't do anything right that day, and felt like my life was shit. And I walked in my room and my bed was made. And I had a gratitude list on my table. And I had my 3 names of people on my desk. And on the bottom of the letter, I always just write in big letters, call me. And a couple of people on this meeting are people that I started first calling. And I would totally just call and cry to them and complain to them and things like that and say, I can't do this. And they would say, well, how many days you have now? Oh, I got 4 days. Oh, well, that is great. That's great. You got 4 days. That is great. And I would tell them, like, okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I would do this like daily. I would do this, and I would call and I would complain. I would get on this meeting and I would call and I would complain about how my life was just shit. And I didn't know what to do with it. But then I got a sponsor and I opened up this book and I'm reading this book. And I'm really not understanding it. And I'm calling other people and I'm like, they got me reading this blue book, and there's all these quotes in there, and they're talking about some steps, and they keep quoting these different sentences every day. They get on this meeting, like it was literally, these people were laughing at me because they were like, yeah, that's called the 12 steps, and oh, those are traditions, or like, oh yeah, that's chapter 1, you have to read that. Oh, you should know it, wait till you get to working with others. I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't know. But I've been going through the book and things like that. Yeah, I came in here and I complained. Like, I totally complained. Like, how did I get sober? I had to write this down. Like, I went to meetings and I cried. And I got sponsors and I cried and I complained. And I went to more meetings and I complained some more. And then I prayed. And I questioned God at times. I questioned my higher power, like, what is this? Why am I doing this? And I would write gratitude lists and still continue to make my bed, because that's what I was told to do. I needed to be told what to do because I didn't know what to do. I had no structure in my life. And then I started helping other people. Like, I would get on here and somebody gave me an assignment to, oh, well, why don't you greet people? And I started greeting people. And then I started sharing, like I started sharing the meetings. And that just gave me some kind of purpose, that I was doing something for somebody else, and that I wasn't being selfish and just thinking about myself, because I was a real selfish person. And then I had to walk, and I walked away from people. I had to walk away from a lot of relationships. I had to walk away from my best friend of 15 years because we were not on the same path. I knew we were both alcoholics, but she wasn't ready to go there. So I had to respect that, but I had to walk away from that relationship, and it hurt. It did. And so I had to walk away from people and places and things that weren't doing me any good. And a year later, it was all worth it. It definitely was worth it, because that same friend came to my celebration that my kids gave me for my year. And that day I found out that she had 108 days sober. And she said that because of my example, she decided to give AA a try. And so I'm really grateful for that. Have I done everything right in AA? Am I in this first year of recovery? Hell no. I didn't. I argued with my sponsor. I threatened to fire her like 3 times already. Um, I didn't go to I literally didn't go to a meeting because I was in my feelings sometimes. Um, the one thing I did do was I still prayed. I still came to these meetings, even if I didn't want to hear what you guys had to say, even if I didn't think what you were saying was right. I still took it in. I still listened to it, and I tried to make it my own way, but that wasn't working. And I just had to get out of my own way. And sometimes I came in here sometimes, or I called somebody, and sometimes I was so, Charlene, shut the fuck up and just listen. Um, and I had to do that. And that's where I'm at now. It's like, I don't know it all. I don't know all the answers. Sometimes I try to think I do, but I don't. Um, and I just need to learn to listen, take advice that's given to me, because it's the right advice, and use it in the right way, not try to flip it the way that I want it to work. Um, but yeah, that's what I do now. I still write my gratitude list. I try to help other people. Um, I'm working the steps. But because I had to be honest with myself, I looked at my first year in recovery and literally I bullshitted it. I did. Like, honestly, I did. Like, I took it for what I wanted it. I took what I wanted and didn't take what I was supposed to be taking. And so when I get to this step 4, right? And I'm like, yeah, I done did step 4 and I'm this and I'm that and I'm not understanding this and I'm not understanding that. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, and my sponsor was like, you don't know what? And I'm like, I don't know nothing. And she's like, so what do you want to do? And I'm like, I need to go to the beginning. I need to go back to the beginning and figure this out because I don't even get what I'm reading. I don't get what I'm doing. Like, I am just lost a year in and I'm still freaking lost. And she's like, you came here thinking that you need to know everything, that you need to be arrived, you need to be doing what everybody else is doing. And you got to stop looking at everybody else and look at yourself. And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm looking at myself. I'm looking at where I'm supposed to be at in my recovery. And I'm not there. Honestly, can say that I'm not there. I'm not doing everything that I could do to help myself in my recovery. So I've decided myself to go back to page 1. It was a decision that I made, and I'm going back to the beginning. I'm starting at the beginning so that I can really get what everything is saying and what I to really ingrain in my life of sobriety. Not even just in my sobriety, but in all my whole life. With raising my kids and everything like that. But I hope that something I said helped somebody else. And I'm just grateful for the 1 dayers, the 5 year people, whoever. Like, I'm grateful. If it hadn't been for you guys, I wouldn't be here. And so I'm glad that you guys didn't give up on me. And I'm not gonna give up on y'all. So yeah, that's what I got. Thanks.